Almost. How are you this morning, Terry?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, you feeling better today?
I am. Blood sugar's down. So
Good. I'm hustling. Hustling at the end here to get everything up at the, I'm trying to look at scratches, and then I'm trying to find stuff that I wrote down. I can't find it for my 3P parlay. Maybe that's not a bad thing, the way the 3P parlay went yesterday.
yeah, I watched that race, that sixth race this morning. That was crazy. That horse looked like the horse was going to do pretty well and bolted all of a sudden to the outside and really affected that whole race. That poor five, really affected him, but also affected a couple other horses.
Yeah, the whole thing was a mess. It looked to me like he was doing a forensic fire. It's like, hey, wait a minute, I'm going to go chew on that other horse's ear.
Yeah.
And then the jockey was doing his damnedest to get that horse to come over. You could see, though, he was fighting him the entire race. It was pretty crazy, for sure. I thought, oh my, here we go. I think he got off to a good start. He was running, but you could see he was trying to pull that horse to the left because he wanted to go right. He was not interested in going to the left at all, which I thought was kind of, I'm like, when that has to be bottom, Terry. There's a point, when you've hit bottom, and I feel like in the 3P, that's the bottom. So hopefully today we can rebound in that respect.
We'll see. Yeah. Actually, I made a good choice in my 3P because instead of using my top choice, I used my second choice in the first leg. So,
did you hit it yesterday?
No.
No, I was going to say,
I'm talking about
today.
Today, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'll explain it when we get to it. So,
all right. Well, that's we'll get there for sure. So, speaking of getting there, there's a jockey that's getting there as well, getting ready to make his return to racing. Kendrick Carmouche, one of the, I like, he's an aggressive rider up front, Terry. I like when he's on a race and he's on a fast horse. I feel like I got a good shot when he's up there like that. And then he's supposed to come back right after on Labor Day, right? At Parks.
Yeah. Yes, he's been actually working horses out in the mornings. So he's been getting some rides in. So that's good. So
after he fell off a horse, Kentucky Pharaoh, and broke his ankle, that can't feel very good.
No. And of course, another horse stepped on it. That's what broke it. So
it's insult to injury, so to speak, huh?
Yeah. Absolutely. So,
have you ever broken a bone or anything like that in your body?
Never
a finger or anything like that?
Nope.
So I had, as a kid, a stress fracture in my shin, on the inner shin of my left leg. It's not a break; it's just a crack in your bone. And I played football through it, and it didn't feel good, to be honest with you. But it seemed like, and you're talking about. Just think about a hairline fracture, just a really small line.
Yeah.
But it was probably about the size of a dime, the whole area. And we would, in football practice, if there was an errant pass, where the nose of the ball would hit every single time.
Right there, yeah.
Right there. And you want to talk about hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord, would that hurt. It's terrible. So I can understand, falling off a horse. I can't understand it because I haven't fallen off a horse, but I could see how falling off a horse and then the horse stepping on your ankle, that would be horrible because of a football to a stress fracture hurts. I can't imagine what a horse to a broken ankle would feel like.
Yeah, I did crack 3 ribs this year. So
I did give you an uppercut after one of those picks that you made.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you had mentioned that you fell down. So
yeah, I did.
But that's feel good, huh?
No, it took way long time to heal. Let's see, it's been 10 months, 9 months, something like that, and it just barely got to the point where I don't feel it anymore.
Oh, that's a positive, right?
Yeah.
And I bet you wherever that pain was, if you bumped into something, it was always right there.
Oh, yeah. You couldn't, for a month, I couldn't sleep in a bed. I had to sleep in a chair.
Sitting up?
Yep. I couldn't lay down.
That can't be any fun.
No.
Speaking of no fun, Terry, Ida obviously was no fun for anybody else out there, right?
That's right. Yeah,
and
it was terrible.
Certainly people are familiar with the hurricane that came through there. And it also came through Fairgrounds Park, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you had read that it actually knocked down their tote board, which is...
I did.
Did you see the pictures of that on Twitter?
I did, and actually, one of the persons there said it was not too bad. He didn't think, and that we have a lot to be thankful for. But when I looked at the pictures, it looked pretty bad to me. I mean, I don't know what he was talking about.
Yeah, so you can see Hurricane Ida knock down the fairgrounds. I can't put the picture up because we don't want to get in trouble with Twitter,
right,
or with the trouble with anybody, because everybody's so damn touchy. If you put anything up, all you're trying to do is help promote them, right, and show their work. But if you put the wrong thing up, so I make my own headlines, Terry. I'm going back to old school when people actually got the folded paper delivered to their floor every day to sort of steal a lyric from the folks from Pink Floyd.
I think that's the best way to go right these days. So
yeah, stay away from those lawyers.
Yeah.
And Terry and I's picks apparently the last couple of days. So
yeah.
I don't know. We're going to try to get back on the right track at Colonial Downs. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I got to tell you, going through those races, I feel like I could have taken 4 or 5 horses in every single spot.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
You felt the same way?
Yeah, it's pretty wide open, to tell you the truth. So.
Mm-hmm. And I know yesterday I skipped over it, Terry, and hopefully I didn't skip over or put the mojo on it. But I did think I said whenever we go ahead and make a mistake on the show, usually it turns out to be to our benefit. If I remember correctly, your top choice did win your pick of the day yesterday.
It did, yes.
Mm-hmm. And tell us about the rest of the horses.
Yeah, okay. Well, my second choice was scratched, and my third choice ran dead last. But my top choice won and paid $440, $260, and $220.
So you had the barbell race.
Yes.
The beginning and the end, or Alpha Omega race. I think Alpha Omega race sounds better. What do you think?
I think it does. Yeah, it sounds better to me. So anyway, today's picks are at Colonial Downs in the 5th race, and my top pick was scratched. Roadbacher was scratched. So my second pick was the number 7, Perfect Majestic. He's won 2 out of his last 4 races, and he has the best turf speed among today's starters. And what I was talking about before is when I was figuring out my place parlay, I couldn't decide whether to use the 4 horse or the 7 horse, and I decided to use my second pick, which is good because my first pick was scratched. So,
and then you got an email from me.
That I would have, yeah. And then number 10, English Tavern, has the highest last speed rating and has a hot trainer jockey combination. In the last 14 days out of 6 months, they've won 5 of them. So those are my 2 picks for today.
Those are your 2 picks for today. And you mentioned one of them is going to be in your 3P parlay, right?
It is. Yeah, it's my first. I think.
Well, no. Don't give any secrets away, Terry.
Okay.
Pace makes race, my friend. Pace makes show. I don't even know if I got this one up there, so I'm just trying to delay, Terry, because I'm bringing up images right as we were coming on live. Terry is hitting me up in the private chat. Rich, everything okay with you today?
Yeah.
Usually he comes in, I'm ready to go. We're talking. We're having a little bit of a conversation beforehand. Today I had a stern look on my face, typing away. So, all right, Terry, let's go ahead and look at your 3P parlay. Let's see if we can maybe hit one today. I hope that I got all the colors right here because I was definitely flying at the end to get things done. And let's see if we got it right. Yeah. You got 7, 7, and 2. Is that correct?
That's correct. And as I said, I took the 7 over the 4. A couple of reasons. It looked pretty even with the 4, but also the 7 before the 4 was scratched was supposed to be pretty, at least I think 10-1 in the morning line. And then in the 6th race, I took the 7 again. And in the 7th race, I took the 2 Indian Lake, which I really like.
Do you feel like you should have taken the 7 there, Terry? So it's kind of like Vegas where you pull a thing 7, 7, 7. I mean, that's always a winner.
Yeah, that could have been, but I really like Indian Lake. I really do. So.
All right. Well, we'll see how Indian Lake. I said, you know what? I'm just going to go to a track with short fields that I tend to do pretty well with, because I want to get one of these under my belt. I figure if I break through, once both of us, once we break through, we'll go ahead and hit. We'll get a bunch in a row. So let's see if today's that day. So I'm at Finger Lake, starting in race 4, the number 4, Inalienable Rights. Seems like we're losing some of them these days. Number 2. In race number 5, I don't even want to begin. Tap Azirance. sounds about perfect. And then in race number 6 to 5, Flowers of Fortune. A little bit of an alliteration there. 5 Flowers of Flower Fortune. Anyway, should have put that in race 5. It really messed me up for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And Terry, so the next thing on our list, as always, did I miss anything so far?
No, so far it looks good.
So far we're clicking along the way we're supposed to. I know yesterday, I skipped over your best bet of the day, not intentionally, Terry.
No,
absolutely,
no.
I would never do that.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm just going to skip over your picks and put mine in.
Okay, we'll work that.
All right, so race number 8, Terry. I as I was putting your hot dog in and my hot dog in, I think we need a $200 budget.
I do too.
Yeah, but we're not going to go with $200 budget. That's not the way it works. But we have so many different picks that there's no way both hot dogs can win, I don't think. But let's go ahead and start with race number 8. Who's your top pick?
Okay, I like number 1, Big Boss Ben. He has a trainer who, when shipping a horse in, wins 20% of the time. He has the best turf speed among today's starters.
I was wondering, our picks were so different. I actually had to go back and check the program to make sure we did the same races. That's how different our picks are today.
Wow.
So I was like, wait a minute, what? Terry's got what? I got what? Wait, am I doing something wrong? So for me, I went ahead, and I'm just going to put my top pick in here. It's number 7, Tejano Twist. Again, another alliteration. I like the alliterations, right? It's a good literary trick, or I guess a rhetoric trick too, right? If you're talking.
Yeah.
So this horse has the some of the top late pace figures in the field. I know it's only 5.5 furlongs that favors speed, but if there's not a whole lot of, well, it actually favors horses that come from like stalkers, not speed. Mm-hmm. So I feel like he'll be middle of the pack off of the break, and then have the late juice, the octane, to go ahead and get it done. He's an 8-cylinder horse in the lane versus a lot of 6-cylinder horses in the lane.
Yeah, I agree. That's my 4th pick. And, he won his last race at Colonial Downs. Moves up in class today, which I like. I like horses moving up in class. And he has the highest last speed rating.
Okay.
Last race speed rating.
Yeah, I agree with that too. So, and he has a bullet workout after that big win. So, okay. Who else do you like, Terry?
I like number 3, Mr. Mox. He ran a second at Delaware Park, only losing by a neck, and has a sharp workout on August 24th, 47.2 breezing. Was the first out of 32 workouts. So
in terms of this race, Terry, I got a feeling like we're going to be going deep in a lot of different places. So that's your, okay, copy with the clipboard. I love that about Excel. I think we're going to be going very deep. I like the 4 horse in this spot too, and I don't feel like we can go. It's going to be pretty hard, I think, to go 4 deep right off the get-go. So let's put those 2 aside. And because the 4 horse, again, this is a 5.5 furlong race. And when I looked at the early pace figures, the 4 horse was like, woo, faster than everybody else. And everybody else is kind of in a bunch. So I feel like the 4 can get out to, and that's Trust Our Journey, can get out to a lead and maybe not give it up. Did you have the 4 anywhere in your rankings?
I did. Number 3 was my 3rd pick. He ran second on the turf at Monmouth Park. And when the trainer brings a horse in for the second time in a grass race, he wins 30% of the time.
So you want to move him over there then?
Yeah, let's put that one over in the spot where it belongs.
All right. Race number 9. Okay, so this race, when I did my work, I had like 6 horses. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to pick from this? So I'm going to start with number 1. This is, I think, 1 1/8 miles. I know it's, I think it's 1 1/8 miles on the outer turf course. What is with this XL thing? So, and I looked at the pace. The pace should favor, in terms of the race shape, should favor horses that come very hard at the end. So the 3 horse is one of the horses with the best late run. It's not an 8-cylinder with a bunch of 6-cylinders. There's a couple other 8-cylinder horses in here, but this horse has the top pedigree for the distance and surface. I know Jessica Paquette, who's been on our show before. She's a big turf pedigree person, so she would like this horse. And since Colonial Downs is her track, I figured it would be a good fit. So I'm going to start with the 3, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, it's fine. Actually, was in my picks too. She's having a good year, finishing in the money 80% of the time and winning 40% of those races.
Okay. Who do you like? Who's your first pick?
Number 8, Gold for Kitten. She's won 4 races in her career, so she is perfect. She can run on top or come from off the space, which is an angle I really like.
Okay. Anything else that you want to put in here?
I like the number 6, Bella Belsa. She won the only race she has run at 1 1/8 on the turf at Colonial Downs. And trainer Michael Dickerson has 2 wins in 2 races at Colonial Downs. And she has a jockey, Charlie Marquez,
who has,
yeah, he does.
He does wear the horse racing radar pants. I hope he's wearing them today when he wins.
I do too. Well, he's won 26% of the races that he's entered in Colonial Downs.
So that was my third pick. So
okay.
I like the number 10 here. Out of Sorts. This one is taking an enormous class drop down from a $700,000 purse in the last race to a $150,000 purse. Has a very solid jockey trainer combo. But I mentioned that the 3-horse was not the only one with the 8-cylinder in the lane. The 10-horse also is a horse that has some pretty good pop at the end of a race. So I feel like you're going to see horses close into the finish line, and those are the ones that are going to win. Did you have the 10 anywhere, Terry, or do we have to kind of put it on the side?
No, I do. I have it in my 4th position. It's finished 75% of the time in the money during her career, and she's won 3 out of 8 races. And as she drops in class today, and her best turf speed is the fastest among today's starters.
Okay, so I guess that maybe I didn't look at the same races. Maybe I was having a big fit of dyslexia or something when I was looking at your picks and mine. So I'm known to transpose things pretty regularly.
Yeah.
All right, number 10. I know you have a solo in here, Terry. So why don't you tell us about? Well, you told us you love this horse anyway, Indian Lake. So why are you so confident in Indian Lake? What did you see that I couldn't find one that was fully confident in like that in any race?
Well, he's finished in the money 90% of the time this year and won 40% of those races. And his last race was on the turf at 1.5 miles. So today distance won't be a problem. And he has a really good workout August 24th, 48 breezing. He was 3rd out of 32 workouts.
Mm-hmm. So again, this is a race where I feel like closing is going to make a difference. And I have 3 horses in here, Terry. So I don't know which ones you have that I don't have or that you've written down. So I like the 1, Search for the Truth. Of course, who doesn't want to do that? The 12, Hidden Energy. And then the 12 horse has the best late kick in the field, but it wasn't my 3rd pick. And then number 11, Draft Capital, was a bunch of races in a row, but I feel like it's moving up in class. It's going to make it a little bit difficult. Be the most difficult field that the 11 horses faced for sure. So I'm going to go ahead with the 1 horse out of those and put him in, but the 12 horse is another one that I might lock in afterwards. So the 1 horse, did you have the 1 horse, Terry?
I did. 2nd choice. He won his last race at 1 1/8 miles at Colonial Downs on the turf, and he can come on top and run or come from far back, which makes him very versatile.
All right. And then do you like either the 11 or 12, or did you have something else in mind?
I have the 11 as my 4th pick. He's won 4 out of 7 races this year and now switches to a high percentage jockey. He has a good workout, breezing at 48 flat, and it was a 2nd out of 16.
And who did you have as your 3rd?
Number 7, Experienced. He has earned the most average money collected per race of all the starters, and he has a good trainer-jockey combination.
So I had the 7th. These guys back here too. So I'm going to lock into 12, Terry.
Okay.
And then we'll decide between the 11 and the 7 later on.
Okay.
And then, because I do want the strongest closer down the lane when the race is coming in, because I do think it's going to be one that is won by a closer. So race 11 for me was, I think, the cleanest race in terms of how I like to handicap things. And this one I started with number 7. But to me, there's not a whole lot of difference between number 7 and number 6. Both of them ran last race speed figures that are over par for this level. The 6 horse does have a very strong jockey trainer combo, and both horses have a pretty solid late pace kick to them at a race that's a mile on the inner turf. This off from recollection, so if I'm wrong, excuse me. So, which is won, I think, by about 70% of the time by closers. So I'm going to start with the 7, Terry, but I'm also going to, on my next one, going to put the 6 in there.
Okay. I do like the 7. Finished in the money in the last 3 races and improved every one of the races.
All right.
And then my top choice is number 3, Dare to Try. She ran second in her first race back since last December and at furlongs, and now she stretches out to a mile, which should help.
Mm-hmm.
She has the highest buyer number of all the starters and has finished 77% of the time in the money during her career.
Well, I mentioned that there were 3 horses in this race, and I thought it was one of the cleaner races in terms of handicapping. So I almost feel like this should be the anti-race. We should take everybody but the 3, the 6, and the 7, because that's kind of how it's worked out for us lately. I like the 6 horse, Terry. Do you like the 6 horse, or do you not have him in
I don't have him, but I'm not against him. Yesterday, you had one that I didn't have that did very well. So,
all right. So let's put him off to the side. Who else do you like?
Okay. See, I talked about my top pick. Number 9, Independence Law. She's returning to a route, which will help, and has the highest speed figure at today's distance.
All right. So this is, I have like the 4, the 2, and the 10 next. Well, the 10 is scratched, I think, in here, so it doesn't matter. All right, Terry. So looking at this ticket, race number 8, I don't think based upon what we see that we can add the 3 horse there, because if we did, then we can only add maybe, well, we could add 1 in race number 10 and then 1 in race number 11. Or we can add 2 in race number 11. And I think that would be a smarter strategy because race number 8 has the smallest field.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. That's good for me.
In race number 11, then we'll put both the 6 and the 9 in there.
Yes, let's do that.
And then as far as the race number 10, do you want to go with the 11 or the 7? What's going to be your decide? I personally prefer the 11 because, like I said, when you look at the closing on the 11, it is the strongest closer in the field, but the 7's not that far away either. So if you feel very strongly about the 7, Terry, I'll go ahead and put the 7 in there with you.
No, I think I'd rather have the 11 to me. Yeah, I like the 11 a little better, even though I had picked the 7 above it. I was really having a hard time with those two, which one to put between. And now that I look at it, I like the 11 better.
You like the 11 better than the 7? Yeah, so everybody go out and single the 7. Right? I mean, that's how it's going to work, Terry. You know it, right?
That's right. Yep.
That's how it always goes. So what do we? I think we're sitting at $96 if I remember correctly. So this is going to be 64 times 3 is 2 carry to 1, 92, $96. How about that? Because we're doing the 3x4x4 lately. I got that math down in my head, and it saves us a little bit of time. So race number 8, we have the 1, the 4, and the 7 in the fly 4. We have the 3, 6, 8, and 10 in race 9, 1, 2, 11, 12. So we did the barbell on that one, Terry.
Yep.
And then we have the 3, the 6, the 7, and the 9 in race number 11. Yesterday, I said I feel very confident about our picks. Today, I'm not going to make such a proclamation. I don't want to jinx us, Terry.
No.
You agree with that sentiment? Don't jinx
us? I do,
us?
Yeah. I'm backing off on how optimistic I've been. But I still think it's going to win.
Well, of course. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it was going to win, right? I watched my account balance go down yesterday, and I'm like,
yeah.
Both on my 3P parlay and the parlay.
Yeah, I always think I'm going to win every time. So,
well, I don't think there's probably anybody who watches the show who is involved in horse racing, the people who haven't learned about the show yet. Speaking of which, if you have friends that are in horse racing and you enjoy what Terry and I do every day, and then Tom on Friday, and then what we do with our Players Edge podcast, please tell your friends about us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, however it is you communicate. It's a community. Of course, we're open to any suggestions, comments. You can email me directly, gtsrichb@gmail.com. Of course, I'll get back to you. Maybe we can even bring you on the show if you'd like. Put your picks on the show, too. It's an open forum. But in any case, Terry, I didn't want to jinx us in that respect. So let's go ahead and take a look at our hot dog pick fours and see if there's anything in there. Well, you're going to see that we're both kind of different. Yeah. Let's see. We both have the 4. So by the time we hit race number 9, Terry, there's no way both of us can win.
That's true, because we don't have any of the same in the 9th race at all.
Right. And we do have one horse the same in two horses in race number 11, and one horse the same. We can only have one horse in race number 10. I looked for a solo because I really wanted to go like 1 by 3 by 4 by 3 or something.
Yeah.
But just it didn't avail itself to me, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I understand. It is.
We had unlimited money, we would never miss.
No, I know. I wouldn't.
Anything else, Terry, that's on your mind today?
No, not really. Everything else is pretty cool. I'm looking at the races for tomorrow, and tomorrow's card looks pretty darn wide open. So I think it's.
And where are we doing it tomorrow again? At Colonial Downs, right?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Any plans for Thursday that you'd like to do? Or better yet, is there any track out there you want us to do the pick for? So go ahead and hit us up on Twitter at Racing Radar, or at Facebook at Racing Radar, or like I said, send me an email or put it in the comments section today or tomorrow. Well, probably tomorrow. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern. Let us know what track you want us to do, and Terry and I will do our best to get it right, hopefully.
Yeah.
Does that sound like a fair deal, Terry?
It does, yeah.
Fantastic. And then we'll go ahead and we'll make that announcement as to which track was suggested to us by one of you. And then we'll make our pick fours on Thursday according to your suggestions.
Sounds good to me.
All right, Terry, as always, my pleasure to spend the morning with you.
I enjoyed it with you too.
All right, fantastic. Folks, as always, we wish you nothing but good luck at the track. Hopefully we see at least one of our horses in every leg of the Fly 4 in the winner's circle.